So before we start talking about this, some very interesting scenario unfolding right now here in price action of Bitcoin, please destroy that like button now, and for those individuals watching this for the first time, hit the subscribe button and the bell. Now starting this in a bigger time frame, we are aware the price of Bitcoin might not have found bottom yet. Why? Because we knew that in the past price action, whenever the price of Bitcoin has started with this new market phase, what has happened before? We had an actual accumulation phase, months of accumulation phase before price started breaking it to the upside or starting a new market phase. But in our case, since the price of Bitcoin has broken the key line of support, which was supposed to hold the price around 19 to 20,000 range, you can see this trend line here. Since this trend line has been broken, what have we said? We have said the price now could be getting gravitated towards the next area of confluence between 10 to 12,000 before choosing a trend direction. Why? Because we have found out in the past price action, this line here between 10 to 12,000 was a very important line of resistance. So this is exactly where we could be getting gravitated before price finally start forming this accumulation phase like this, right? Finally finds this accumulation phase like this and start with this new market phase. And why this would make a lot of sense, because if we look at this price structure here in a very simple way, guys, right now in the medium short term, the price of Bitcoin looks like it could be showing some impulsive movement. But what I want you guys to understand, in the past price action, we have found out during a downtrend, whenever the price of Bitcoin has broken the key line of support from a descending triangle, right? This key line of support from descending triangle, we have seen a bigger price retracement. I mean, in the past price action during a downtrend, whenever we have broken the key line of support, we have started with a bigger price retracement. In our case, a very similar scenario is unfolding, but we have said in this price movement, there could be so-called a relief rally. Yes, guys, a relief rally towards the previous temporary support line, which could be acting as a resistance before again continuing this downtrend, because this horizontal trend line around 18 to 19,000 could be retested before price again start heading here to the downward direction like this. And why towards this 10 to 12,000 range? Because we know in the past price action, whenever the price of Bitcoin has started with this new market phase, the market has corrected above 80%. Let me show you that here. Now, if you look at this in a weekly time frame and look at this price movement from 2011 till 2012, 2013 till 2015, 2017 till 2019, each and every time whenever the price of Bitcoin has started this actual market phase, what has happened before? The price of Bitcoin has always showed a retracement up to or above 80%. Yes, guys, the price of Bitcoin has always showed more than 80% retracement before starting a new market phase. So in our case, if you look at this price structure, you can see the price of Bitcoin has retraced only like around 77-78%. So if we are also going to see another retracement above 80%, or let's say between 80 to 85, that could bring the price between 10 to 12,000 range. And in the past price action, after retracing above 80% to 85%, we have seen market showing actual consolidation and also starting with a new market phase like this. So that's why, guys, that's why we are expecting some relief rally between 18 to 19,000 in the medium short term, but the overall trend duration still towards this 10 to 12,000 before starting a new market phase like this. Why this is actually so important for us? Because we know if we look at this price structure in a very simple way using this Wyckoff's market cycle scenario. So if we look at this market cycle from Wyckoff, you can see very clearly, guys, the price is still in a downtrend, because we know before we start with the new market phase, first the price needs to find a proper accumulation phase, an accumulation phase which could look like this or like this before starting a new market phase. And why this would make a lot of sense? Because we found out in the past price action, before we have started a new market phase, the price of Bitcoin has retraced more than 80%. According to this analysis, we can see the next area of confluence is also between 10 to 12,000 range. And now, according to this Wyckoff market cycle, if this trend is going to continue here to the downside, then we could be getting attracted towards this line, which is going to be between 10 to 12,000 before finding an actual accumulation phase or bottom, and then starting a new markup phase. Because if you look at this accumulation phase example from Wyckoff or Stan Weinstein, doesn't matter, before we start with the new markup phase, first we need a proper accumulation phase like this, price ranging between certain line of support and resistance for months before finally breaking it to the upside. But if you look at this from Stan Weinstein, according to the Stan Weinstein, the price has to overcome the long-term resistance line, the horizontal resistance line, and also overcome the resistance from this 30-week moving average. Because if you look at this price structure here in a weekly, you can see, guys, the price of Bitcoin is still below 30-week moving average if you look at this in a weekly time frame. So for an actual market phase, we also have to overcome the resistance from this 30-week moving average before starting a new market phase. So that's why our focus is definitely going to be around this price range between 10 to 12,000, and we are also expecting price after reaching that area finally to bottom and also start with the new market phase. Not just only this, guys, not just only this, even if we look at this price structure here in a very simple way, current scenario. For the current scenario, we have said the price is forming this VCPR. VCPR means the price has actually decided to choose a trend duration without touching any of the CPR line. And in most of the cases, what happens, price first gets gravitated towards the CPR line, right, before choosing a trend duration. So we have said, if this is going to be a trend continuation here towards the first monthly target for this December month, which is lining exactly at 20,600, then we have to overcome the resistance which you have from this CPR line, top, central, and the bottom CPR line, which is between 17,600 to 18,400 range. So these three lines are going to be the line where we could be getting attracted here in the medium short term, and also the line which is going to be acting as a strong line of resistance. Because if we do see this reversal here towards the central CPR line, top CPR line, bottom CPR line in the CPR area and gets rejection, then this monthly S1 line, which is sitting around 14,600, is also going to be looked as our potential upcoming target. So what we want here in the medium short term, price to break out of this CPI area and flip into support, because by doing that, we will be expecting the trend of Bitcoin to continue towards this monthly R1 line for this December month. Because we know right now the price has somehow managed to break and form a new high, because this was the previous line. And now if we are going to continue this formation, making higher highs, higher lows continuation pattern, then you have to look at this one scenario here. So before we talk about this very interesting scenario, please guys, please, if you haven't destroyed that like button, then do it right now. But if you want to support me even further, then a comment would be much appreciated, because you know a comment and a like is definitely going to boost the algorithm and also boost the motivation for me to create content like this in a daily basis. Thank you very much. Now if you look at this price structure in a 4-hour time frame using this symmetrical triangle breakout scenario, according to the symmetrical triangle, since the price has already broken the key line of resistance which you had around 16,600 range, we are heading it to the upside. But if you monitor this price movement carefully, what could be also playing here in the immediate short term, if we are going to follow this trend by forming this higher highs, higher lows continuation pattern right before showing another movement here like this, then we are expecting the price of Bitcoin to show a retracement here towards this rising trend line or the lower rising trend line before continue this impulsive movement, because we have managed to form a new high. And if this is going to be another pullback, it is going to form a new higher low, higher highs, higher lows continuation pattern. And if that is going to happen, then parallelly the price would make a lot of sense, even though we have invalidated this parabolic curve scenario in an hourly time frame. Those who have watched my video, you guys know very well, we did talk about this Bitcoin parabolic scenario. Since the price after reaching around this base 4 has failed to show another parabolic move towards this sell point area, what has the price done? The price has started showing this reversal. But if you look at this reversal carefully, you can see very clearly, guys, the price right now is also forming this so-called descending broadening wedge. Descending broadening wedge is considered as a bullish scenario once we flip the upper line resistance into support. So what we want here in the medium short term, if the price of Bitcoin wants to continue this uptrend without retesting the key line of support around this lower trend line area, then in the medium short term we want the price to break this upper line resistance around 17,000 and flip into proper support. Because if we do that, if we manage to flip the previous temporary resistance line around 17,000 to support, then we are expecting the price of Bitcoin to continue this uptrend between 18 to 19,000 before choosing a trend direction. But if we do see a reversal here to the downside, price again getting attracted towards this lower trend line, then this pullback would also make a lot of sense. Why? Because according to this pullback, we can see the price could be getting gravitated around the 16,600 range, and if that is going to happen, price showing another pullback towards the 16,600 range, then you can see this lower line could be retested before another impulsive movement could play out here in this manner. So please be careful, wait until the price breaks out of this key line of support or resistance before placing any trade. And since the market right now is so volatile, please do not over leverage yourself. So this were some of the quick update that I wanted to share with you in today's video. If you enjoyed my work, then please destroy that like button, and for those individuals watching this for the first time, hit the subscribe button and the bell. Now by saying this, I'm signing out. My name is Anup. Bye bye.